So today I've printed my picture out that I was busy with yesterday, where I showed you how to make a nice glossy eye. As you can see, I have continued a little bit with it from yesterday. Basically, I had to sharpen my charcoal pencil. And then what I did was, I used a craft knife, and then what I did was, to get the point, I basically sanded it. Hope you can see this. I basically sanded it, dropped the charcoal onto the drawing, and then I rubbed it in with my finger. But today, because it is going to create a lot of black on my hands, I'm going to rub it in with my sponge, which is a makeup sponge that I bought. If you live in this country, they have quite a few of them at Clicks. As you can see, it is removing some of it, but at the same time, it is pushing it into the paper, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to continue down here. As you can see on the picture, we have a very, very light side on this side, and the other side is fairly dark. So the light source is obviously coming from this side to the middle. Beautiful light around the bottom of the nose here, and look at this big nose, it's just so gorgeous. So yesterday I was busy using that Conte Paris Fusion Charcoal 2B pencil, and then I remembered that I had these amazing peel and sketch by Generals, and thought, well, let me try these out. Now, I mean, I know that all of us as artists, we have a huge amount of supplies, some that we don't use. It seems to be our second hobby. Once we have started drawing, we seem to collect a huge amount of supplies. Some are left in the cupboard for a while others are used continuously. So I'm just putting a piece of this paper towel under my arm, my hand, just so that I don't smudge what I've done. Putting in a few of the little details here that I see, and then I will smudge it out. But these charcoal pencils are absolutely amazing, because as you can see, there's a piece of string that is getting in the way of the point where I'm trying to show you what they do. And you peel that piece of string back, and then you tear off the paper, and it elongates the charcoal part of the pencil. And you can, once again, you can take your piece of sandpaper, sand it to the point that you want, but do remember to keep it. You do get charcoal powder, however, and I do have it, I do use it. I use it mainly for my students so that they can see what supplies are available. However, I do this a lot on my drawings, because I hate wasting anything. And these brushes that I'm showing you now are makeup brushes. Again, if you live in this country, South Africa, you buy them from Clicks. This one is a bit soft, so it's not really spreading it nicely. To me, they're quite expensive, so I cut them in half. They were double-ended. They're now obviously single-ended because of my cutting them up. Can't say that I'm that enthralled with them, even if I use them top down to try and blend the charcoal into the paper. Certainly not as good, I feel, as a makeup sponge. This is fabulous because it collects, and then you can put in the background, or in this case, I'm continuing that ear. You can see in this section here, it's quite blurred. So if I continue this down, it goes down towards the eye. You get that sort of out of focus look without really doing much with the sponge. You can get the shape in of that blurred piece of the photograph. Let me take it down here, move these out of the way, take it down to the bottom here. Just gives it a nice feeling, being blurred out and disappearing into the background, which is what I'm famous for in my drawings. I hardly ever completely finish something, even though I do a lot of photorealism drawing. It's still, they appear as if they are emerging from the mist. I prefer that to making it look identical to the photograph, because then after all you might as well just buy the photograph. So already you can see that that's adding a bit of volume and another dimension to this, to the look of this drawing. That's what I love about this. One can just continue until you're happy with it. And already our beautiful deer is taking shape. So this big fat shiny nose, I'm going to use one of my general pencils. This is a medium. And then we have a hard, and I do have a soft somewhere. There you are. This is the soft. So I'm going to start off with the soft, just to get that shape in and the depth of that color for the nostrils. There we go. Oh, see now that lead is broken off, which is a shame. But that won't go to waste, because I'll use that on sandpaper, and I'll make sure that I use that in a background or on a large piece. So let me not press quite as hard, as exuberantly as I was. I'll just go a little bit slower. So here you can already see that the nose is taking shape. It's incredible how a few little marks go a long way in getting the nose to look like a nose. You can see these gorgeous marks here, those little round things that they do have on the nose, and the paper actually helps you get this texture in, although I do add it in myself as well, just to emphasize those beautiful markings. So here across the top you can see that there's gorgeous light. So I'm going to lightly color this in to get the center of it. And on this side there's a lot of shadow, so we'll get that in. It goes up, goes up into that side there. So we'll get this in first, which is the nose, and very, very dark. There are a few light areas, so we must just be aware of those and leave them in there, so that when we blend we don't end up with it being so dark that we can't pull it out with an eraser. Okay, so let's have a look and see. This will blend in. We're not going to soften the edges, because you can see that the edges, although they're not completely hard, there's a big change between the values from the black to the dark. So even though I've put those in, you can still go over it, because you can take it out with an eraser. Lift those marks out again with an eraser, and this is very, very similar to graphite. You're forever lifting, adding, lifting, adding. It's a never, you never stop doing that, because obviously as you are drawing, your values change with what you are adding to it. But I'm quite happy with these textures here. I'm not sure if you can see them, but they look pretty good. There's also a bit of texture on the nose here, which I'm just going to add. And then we've got some light. I'm going to take my mono eraser, which I introduced you to in yesterday's video, and a couple of the other ones that I've done. Take that out. Take this out on this side. You can see that it's not lifting quite to the crisp white that is on the photo. So I am going to use that piece of white pastel that we had yesterday for the eye. I think it's fantastic. Let's have a look and see what it does. Yep, there it goes. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Pulls it out within a second flat. That's lovely. This side is a bit grey, so I'll blend that in. And then coming down here, there's some lovely light on the top of the nose. That has a shape. There's white here. And there's some white on the long side of the nose here. So what we can do is we can add in those textures that are on there. Let's see if this works. Blend it in so that we get a, yeah, that's fantastic. So we get a lighter tone for those bumps that they have on their nose. Let's do it on this side. Let's have a look and see. Let's blend it again. Oh, this is marvelous. Having found this really saves a lot on going backwards and forwards with regards to the tones and the values. This is marvelous. So as you can see in the photograph, this is very, very blurred here. It is very white, but it does go into a blurred edge, so I'm going to blur that out. And just take it away slightly so that it isn't so in the face of the viewer. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? Look at that nose. What a gorgeous, gorgeous baby. I think I've got it the right size. This goes into grey around here. Looks like it is the right size. I know this side needs a bit of work. Let's just put that in. Dark along here. It goes up to the top of the snout. I think that's what you call for a deer as well. A deer, little deer. So let me know what you think about this procedure, because for me, I think that this has worked extremely well. Very excited about this, I have to say. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you on the next video.